number of people coming from far to near. So, Lily is a senior from John F. Kennedy High School in Belmore. So she came all the way from Belmore last year and this year to do the program. She's super excited, and we are so super excited to have Lily. So Lily.
Thank you.
Woo! So, I'm Lily Gotch. As Roger said, I'm a senior at John F. Kennedy High School. This program has been one of the best parts of my life, like genuinely. There are so many great things to say. First of all, thank you everyone here for coming. Like I said, this means a lot to me, so it's great to have so many people here. Also, specifically, I would like to thank Lori Murdoch for helping organize this entire area. Like, it's incredible. I remember last summer I would come here and I got to grow, like, as a group, we went from all these seeds as kind of, not bare, but a lot less than it is now, all this land, to this food, and we would donate it. I remember we almost had, like, we did have too many tomatoes at times, or too many zucchinis. We had zucchinis that were this big that we were donating to people, and it was just an incredible experience. I learned so much, so thank you, Lori. Secondly, I would like to thank Raju. Although I didn't work with Raju much in person this year, last year for half of the day I would spend it here, and the other half of the day I would spend it at Raju's house and Dodge. So, because there was a large gap in between, so I learned a lot at Dodge, and just from Raju in general. He has a huge, like, native plant garden. There were all these different bees and butterflies. It was great, and also Raju put this whole thing together, so thank you so much. Next, Hilder, thank you so much. You've taught me so much just about nature in this area in general. I remember there, like, oh my god, it was almost months ago now, wow. There was the fox den all the way back there, and I didn't even know that we had foxes here like 5 years ago, and now I was seeing one of their dens. Hilder is also, like, incredibly intelligent, like, can identify, like, so many things, and, like, I learned about different types of natives versus invasives, and so much about the preserve, so much, so thank you. Next, I would like to thank Peggy Maslow. First of all, just for today, she drove me from my house to the JFK Wildlife Sanctuary in Tobay Beach to band birds, and then has also driven me here several times to help work on the program. She taught me so much about native plants, birds, helped me really get my passion about birds. People might know me as the bird person here because I'm constantly looking at the sky and...
I'm a bird nerd.
Yeah. She put together so much of this garden over here, like this whole thing. Like, she was here, I think, every day or almost every day, putting this whole thing together and maintaining it. And there's going to be the solar fountain here soon, or if it's not already. Incredible, so thank you. Oh no, I actually lost my notes. I would also like to thank Marv, although I haven't seen him much this year and last year because of my schedule. He brought a ton of plants, put a lot of this together, helped organize Plant-A-Row, which donated all the food. Without him, we wouldn't have this whole garden or much else in this program in general, so thank you. I'd also like to thank Paul Merkelson for also, especially last year at Dodge, teaching me so much. There is the honeybee farm there, which was great. We also put together these different compost buckets called bokashi buckets, and I learned a lot about microbiology because of all the bacteria that would help break it down, how there are all these different processes, how compost doesn't have to be this huge thing. You could do it just in this tiny box in your house. And that was incredible. I say incredible. That was great. Thank you. I would also like to thank Claire for helping or organizing a lot of the cleaning the pots and recycling. Although we only worked together for about 2 weeks, on that project. That was great. It was really relaxing to just sit down and just wash these pots and talk to everyone. It was a lot more therapeutic than I was thinking cleaning pots would be, but it was great. And now those will all be reused, or a lot of them will be reused or recycled. So thank you. I would also like to thank the local officials for helping continue the message of this program and our goals all across Hempstead, Nassau County, Long Island, our district, all over. So thank you for that. I really, really appreciate it. On top of that, I also made a lot of personal connections here. First of all, I met one of my best friends, Allison, here, and that was really good. Allison was here every day, or almost every day last year, so we ended up meeting a lot, but it wasn't until this year that we actually started talking and noticed that we had a lot more in common than we thought, other than just liking plants. I also last year especially, I got to raise monarch butterflies and tag them with Tanya. I don't know if anyone here knows Tanya. She wasn't part of this program this year, but that was also a very interesting experience. I remember, interesting in a positive way. I don't really like interesting. There were milkweed plants that had the little monarch eggs on them, and I would bring some home to raise them, and it became a family thing. We all named them. We had one, I think his name was Dort, and he was this little caterpillar, and he became a butterfly. And I remember the day we released him, and my mom was sending me pictures like, Dort's all grown up, they grow up so fast. It was great too. Also, thanks to the help of Lori and B, oh hi! B, just mentioning you. I learned a lot about gardening, which was something that I had little to no experience of coming in other than growing tomato plants in my backyard. I learned about all these different things about soil chemistry, about how too much nitrogen in the soil can make something leaf out versus produce the things that you want to grow. I learned about different agricultural pests and the different ways to garden, how to make it sustainable. And it really inspired me so much to the point that I now have a little raised bed in my backyard where I'm growing pea plants and radishes. So thank you so much. And it really, really means a lot because I want to continue doing all these nature-related and garden-related stuff in my future. Finally, I would like to thank everyone here, especially the other volunteers. I've met a lot of you. Not all of you, sadly, but I've met a lot of you, especially this year, since I've been a mentor, and it was really great getting to see different people being interested in this program, similarly to how I was interested in it last year. It was great. So thank you everyone. Also, one more thing about that. I remember the first day coming here this year and having so many people, more people here than last year. We got so much done in the first day. We were done in half or less as much time as we were last year, and everyone was working so hard. And it really paid off because you could see like this whole property, if you were here last year, it wasn't nearly this big and we didn't have nearly as many plants. And that wouldn't be possible if not for all the young people who came out and my peers who came out to help with this program. So thank you everyone. And finally, this program has largely inspired me in my future career options. I want to go off to study ecology and evolutionary biology and also entomology, and I wouldn't know much about any of that stuff without being here, be it the presentations on Zooms that would teach me about specific things, the connections I made to different Audubon societies thanks to Peggy, and all of these different things. I wouldn't have known anything about these things that make me so happy and I'm so passionate about if it wasn't for this program. So thank you so much, everyone. I believe Charlie's next.